answers. Answers that we try to find in self-help books or through self-improvement. But what if real peace and connection came from simplifying our lives? The best ideas come to us in silence, when we're out taking a walk without our phone, without a podcast, without being glued in to what everyone else is doing or thinking. The best inspiration comes to us when we're in the shower thinking and allowing our mind to wander. With simplicity, there is peace of mind. There is a certain freedom in not having luxuries because you don't worry about maintaining them or keeping them. But money is something that comes and goes. It flows in and out of our lives, and when we attach ourselves to money and we overemphasize our emotional well-being on having more things, having more that money can buy, we're more dependent on it. We rely on it for our own happiness. When you buy things for less money, you no longer attach those emotional states of being to the possession itself. You don't have to worry about how well you maintain something, and thus it leads to more spaciousness in your mind. And you realize that those things were just distractions from what really matters. One of the ways that I live a simple life is I like to ask myself, is this going to bring quality to my life? Is this going to bring me value? Or is it just another distraction? To live with more ease, freedom, spaciousness, and simplicity, start by asking yourself, what really makes you happy? This is one.
Our relationship to our body, science is telling us that we are deeply, deeply connected. Our thoughts, feelings, emotions, and beliefs trigger the chemistry in our brain and in our heart that releases the healing hormones, the anti-aging hormones, the powerful immune response into our bodies. And the beauty of that is that we get to choose the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and beliefs that do the triggering. So we are deeply, deeply ingrained in this system. Our relationship to the world, what we now know, is that civilization is cyclic. The 5,000 years that we've been studying is the history of the world. That's only the history of the most recent cycle. There was a 5,000-year cycle before that, and one before that. We're not sure how far back that goes. The fundamental rule of nature, we now know that nature is based upon a principle of cooperation, not conflict, and what biologists call mutual aid, not struggle. Now, this isn't denying that struggle and conflict happen. We all see it. But here's the deal. The more struggle and conflict we see, that tells us how far we have strayed as individuals or as nations from the truest nature, the most fundamental principle of the natural world. The world is changing, and we're trying to solve the problems of our past in the same ways that we always have in the past. And it's not working. It's not working because we are now a globalized society, and that globalization has pushed our beliefs and what we think is true about ourselves and one another. It's pushed it to the very edge of what we now understand is true. And the only things that are breaking down around us are the unsustainable ways of thinking, the unsustainable solutions of separation, competition, and conflict. So what does this mean for you in your life? You know, to get wherever you are in your life right now, you've had to create your own ideas and your own beliefs. And what I'm going to invite you to do is this. Take everything that you've ever held true and been taught and conditioned to believe about yourself and your world, and put that into a file folder called existing beliefs in your mind, okay? Because it's worked for you and it's gotten you to where you are right now. I'm going to invite you now to create a second file folder, and if you'll just label it possibilities. And into that file folder of possibilities, I'm going to invite you to place all of these new discoveries. The fact, the scientific fact, that the origin of life, it's not random. Human life is not random. That we're deeply connected to our bodies. We're deeply connected to the world. That civilization is cyclic, and we've had advanced technological civilizations here multiple times in the past. And the fact that nature, the fundamental rule of nature, is based upon cooperation and mutual aid, not survival of the strongest. And those are Darwin's actual words from his book. Survival of the strongest, later translated into survival of the fittest. Nature is not based upon survival of the strongest. So when you find yourself challenged in your world, or when you find yourself asked to support other people in positions of power who are being asked to make decisions on your behalf, then you can ask yourself the question, are they using the file folder of the old ideas, or are they using the file folder of the new possibilities? And when those old ideas no longer work and they begin to break down, rather than struggle in your personal life, let that folder go. Open up that new file folder of possibilities, and you will be amazed at how solutions flow into your life and how situations change very, very quickly when we solve them by applying natural principles based in the harmony of what is real and true in our world.